So, Tim, I'm an old newspaper guy. I want to hear your vision of the news industry. How
An ink-stained wretch you are.
Exactly.
I am too.
I've got 7 of them right here. How are Americans going to be getting their news in 10 to 20 years, and how are you positioning Yahoo and AOL to deliver that?
Yeah. Well, one thing I think, I'm an old newspaper, started a newspaper in Boston right when I started my career, and I think that, trust, and this is why brands are important, is when you think about the sea of noise that the world is today with social and all the other aspects of people getting connected, the brand of what you can trust. I think right now with all the stuff happening in fake news, you see the consumer reaction to it. They want real news, real brands.
We're seeing people gravitate away from trusted organizations and distrusting the organizations that they used to trust. So it seems like trust is breaking down.
I think trust, here's the difference. I think trust will get built and is being rebuilt by brands that are embracing the new distribution model. So Huffington Post, by the way, is the most distributed news source on Facebook. And you can say, hey, Huffington Post is a digital brand and it's a trusted brand, and why would people care on Facebook about having a digital trusted brand? Well, they do, and the data shows it. So I think to be honest with you, I think the areas that are challenging for traditional news are when traditional news expects consumers to behave the same way they were behaving before, when in reality, if you're one of our brands or one of the brands that you guys own, you have to build your brand on social media and you have to be out there. And I think that the brands that get in front of the consumer trends, by the way, I think the news brands globally have the most unbelievable opportunity they've had in the last 20 years to build significant brands that are going to go to every country, every phone in the world. But if you fight that trend, my guess is you will not be an organization that people look to that they trust. And I'm a long-term believer in the trusted brands. So I'm probably long on this category overall, but I see the statistics and data in our own business.
Maybe you should have called it trust and not oath.
Caitlin?
Well, oath is a great way to talk about trust, and that is one of the oaths we're making.
Can you talk about user engagement? I mean, I'm so fascinated by how engaged people are in what they consume and in their brands now that in the Trump administration. But is that a reaction to that, or is that just kind of a new pattern?
No, I think people are. One is the data we've seen after the election is consumers have stayed engaged, which normally in the presidential cycle, once the election's over, we see a drop off. The engagement levels have stayed or gotten deeper. You might see this out when you're talking to consumers across the globe. But the other interesting thing that's happened is since everyone's empowered with phones now, if you look at like Tumblr's one of the assets we're getting in the Yahoo deal, which we love, Tumblr has tens of millions of posts a day. So from a consumer, when I grew up, you got the news one way and you basically didn't react to it. You thought about it, you might discuss it. Today the news is a two-way news cycle, and it's a two-way content cycle, also. So I think the engagement levels we're seeing right now seem to be holding and going up overall, and I think it's a two-way engagement cycle. So again, if you're a brand, you get to engage with people two-way instead of one-way.
I just wanted to point out something, though, and it varies from month to month, but Fox News in the most recent month was by far the publisher with the most engagements. The biggest news publisher, far and away above highest average engagements per post on Facebook.
This is what my grandmother used to call tooting your own horn.
Well, but he said it was the Huff Post, and it's Fox News. At least, I mean,
similar audience.
No offense,
but this is a great point, because Fox has done a very good job of building audience, and if you look across your different properties and what you've been able to do on cable also, so the reality is, if you're a human and you get up in the morning, you have a choice. You can go out on social media and look at what everyone else is saying, or you can go to a trusted brand. And what we're talking about is the engagement levels on the most trusted brands have been going up, not down. And I think that even the subscribers for Wall Street Journal, New York Times, you look at their digital subscribers versus analog, that the engagement levels are going up.
But advertisers aren't following them.
Really quick.
Not following traditional, but advertising online is growing at 15–20% a year.
Real quick, Marissa Mayer, CEO of Yahoo, what's her role in Oath? Does she stay CEO at Yahoo?
Yeah, so Marissa and I and both executive teams have been spending like the last 12 months getting organized. We're I say we're 90 days away from the final executive structure overall, so we don't have anything to announce. I think Marissa has said publicly and privately that she's going to stay through the next phase to make sure Yahoo is in a very good place overall. So we're actively discussing probably announcements we'll make towards the end of Q2 about what the structure is going to be and the people. So we're active, so we don't have anything to announce on that front now, but Marissa's committed to staying through the next phase.
Tim, it was good to see you.
Great.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Tim
Nice to see you
Armstrong
guys.
with AOL.